All right, everyone. Excuse me. It is Thursday morning at 10 o'clock. We are going live. So nobody's on yet with me. That's fine. You know me. I can talk all by myself, to myself. Um, I do need to apologize for last week. I should have made an announcement, but we did not have the show, obviously, last week at 10 o'clock on Thursday. Tom Smith, the producer for the Full Change podcast, was going to be out of town or is out of town on vacation this week and next week. So we wanted to make sure we got a lot more recordings done. So we did. We recorded on Wednesday and Thursday of last week. So that's why we were not available to do this show. I apologize. What should we do last week? I'm trying to remember who we did last week too. Some interesting guests, but that's all going well. Ken R, how are you doing there, brother? Good to see you. Ken R. Kenner. Was in the city yesterday in Manhattan. Wasn't that hot? Man, it's humid. I go into Grand Central Station, then I walk over to Madison Square Garden. It's probably like a 20 or 25 minute walk, and got a little sweat going on, a little extra lather. Yeah, we did an event in Madison Square Garden. They have a Chase Lounge, obviously the Chase sponsors. And speaking of Chase Lounge, I have seen this creature in Chase Lounge a few times. She walks in like she's the princess, like Susan walks in to these events. It's like everybody has to bow, music stops and everything. Here I am. I'm Susan Brooks. I'm here. Just kidding. She doesn't do that. Jill, how are you doing? You magical creature, you. Excuse me. So Chase Lounge, obviously the Chase, they sponsored that lounge. So they used it yesterday. They had some of their upper level executives there. They're doing a leadership and motivational council. I think they're there for 5 hours. I was only there for 45 minutes. I did a little presentation. They're very good. Very good. You can tell there's all adults and everything. These obviously very successful in their careers. But what I liked about them, they really wanted to learn a lot, about the motivation and discipline. We talked a lot about discipline. And I guess the question always is, why do you get up at 3:30 in the morning? I haven't talked to Kevin Allen in a while. Great man. I like him a lot. Tons of respect for Kevin. But we can get in touch with him anytime we want. Okay. So we've announced that Larry Melnick is saying that he's coming to the golf tournament September 18th, Westchester Country Club. I also spoke to James Patrick. Had a great conversation with him. Talked about the whole situation there with the junior team being sold and him not being kept on board, but a lot of really good stuff. I'll be careful not giving any details, but it was one of those situations that looked like it was bad at first, but as it turns out, there's tons of interest on him coaching again this year. He's decided to take the year off for now. Who knows what happens during the season? Other coaches could get fired and opportunities come up, but he's made the decision to take the year off. He had multiple offers to go back to coaching, and it was really good too because some of the people approached him. They talked about how they felt he was, if not the best coach, one of the best coaches in junior hockey. So, again, a bad situation that turned good for James Patrick. But he's coming in September 18th. That's a good thing. He's got time to come in now. So it'll be good to see him. We're getting a hold of Pierre LaRouche. Hopefully he's coming in as well. So there'll be a lot of guys. I got to be careful if I can announce. At the golf tournament every year, they honor an individual or a team. And again, I'm not sure if it's been announced yet who they're honoring, so I've got to be careful with what I say. But I'll ask the great Jackie DiPiazza if I'm allowed to say anything, and then we'll announce that they can do it themselves. But we'll also share that. So it'll be good to see this guy that's coming in. But really, a real gentleman, good guy. He's very good at his job too. So, and a sad note: a lot of people may not know him. But there's a great guy that worked for the Rangers for like 50 years, I think. His name was Tom Horvath. Was an equipment manager, always, there at the Garden, helping out. Just everybody loved him. He was there for the '94 Cup. He was there for my whole time with the Rangers. I think he went back to when he would travel with the team, and even when they were taking trains. So, but just one of those beloved guys. Everybody, just a sweetheart of a man. Passed away, I guess about a week ago. So sad, but he's one of those guys you look, oh man, what a great life he had. Like the way he treated people, the way people treated him too. So, Rod Jameson, how are you doing, you magical man? You up there in Buffalo, New York, you bodybuilding, Buffalo chicken wing eating. Rod Jameson. Thank you, Ron. Yeah. He's what, we're bad. I think especially as men, we're bad. where we don't. Deb, magical woman, how are you? As long as Deb's here, then everything's just fine. So he's one of those guys that, yeah, you don't want to lose him, but he had a full life. I think he's 80 something. But you remember him, like he's a guy that sticks out. It's like, man, what a great guy. You love going to the rink and seeing him. He always was in a good mood and always very helpful and helping out and modest. So a good guy. Unfortunately, lost him. You know what? I don't know how many you guys are too. And again, I think it's a guy thing more than anything. I've got guys they're people that are great friends of mine from years ago, and I don't keep in touch with them enough. And I'm trying to make a habit of, especially this time of the year, things are a little bit more quiet. Instead of just sitting around, trying to get on the phone and just call people up randomly. And had a great talk with James Patrick, about his situation. So it was good to talk to him again. Oh, goodness. The sex machine is in the house. I don't know if you're referring to yourself as the sex machine or, Ron Greshner. We get run around Greshner's because family and everything. So we live right by each other, but I think it's one of those things because we're so close to each other, we don't talk that much. Okay, Ira. All right. Yeah. Sorry. So one of the people you guys may not know him, but a famous guy up in Marquette, Michigan, where I went to school, was John Kyle. John and Walt Kyle were brothers. Did you get your truck fixed? No, Carla, I did not yet. Okay. We'll cover that first. The truck situation. Okay. So my truck, and I'm not giving up on the truck. Somebody suggested I get a new one. No way. I take very good care of this car. It's got this noise where you can drive along for like 20 miles. It's run perfectly. And there's no problem. All of a sudden it makes this grinding noise for like 2 seconds. And then stops. And then it may not do it it could do it 100 feet down the road, or it may not do it again for another 10 miles. The mechanic is taking a look at it, and he's a great mechanic, honest guy. And he's driving him nuts too, because he wants, he's really good at that. I trust him totally. And he's highly recommended to me years ago. So I've stuck with him. So he's, hey, Carla, good call by you. So he replaced the bearings, and he was really good about it too. He says, because if it wasn't the bearings, he didn't want me to pay for new bearings when it really was the problem. So he replaced the bearings, put new ones in. Wasn't the problem, so he put the old ones back in. It was still doing it. We put new brake pads and rotors on. Somebody suggested it's maybe the rotors. So it's driving him nuts. Now, problem is he had to go on vacation this week, so he said, "Listen, you can drive it." He says you can't really go long distances or anything like that. But again, it's so quiet right now. Like I had to go to the city yesterday, so I took the train out of Port Chester, which is close by. So I walked there. 20-minute walk. It's good to get more exercise. One issue is not going getting to my gym in the morning. There's a gym here in our complex that I use, but then I can't get to the beach, which is a little bit farther away. So that's holding up, but we'll survive. So that's the truck situation is sitting there. Again, I can drive it if I have to, trying not to too much. And it's the weirdest thing too. It'll go like it has to get warmed up kind of before it starts doing it. They can drive along like the mechanic. He changed the brakes. He thought that was the issue, and then he took it for like a 30-mile ride just to make sure it wasn't doing it. And then as soon as I picked it up and brought it home, it's like 10 miles home, if that. And all this when it wasn't doing it all. Then when I got home and started doing it again. So let me see here. Jack Smith. Good morning, Tom. I'm old-fashioned, still have a flip phone. Whereas my battery died last week. Now I installed a new battery. We're trying to activate the phone. What a disaster. Oh, I know. Doesn't that drive you nuts when something you're just used to it working fine all of a sudden? Like, no. Oh, that's the thing with the truck. It's like, it's going to get fixed. It's fine. And again, the truck, we put a refurbished engine in it, 6 months ago, with a 3-year, 100,000-mile warranty in it. So it's not, I'm putting something like $9,000-$10,000 into it. So and we get it done. Again, I have total faith in this mechanic. Stanford, or Shiphan Shell up in Stamford, Connecticut. Pete is his name. Really good mechanic, really honest guy too. Like I said, with the whole thing with the bearings, he could have thrown the bearings in there and just maybe pay for them, even if it didn't fix the problem. I'm no mechanic. I don't know what I'm doing. So, but he was very honest. Told me ahead of time, this is what I'll do. So that's where it's at. So I called an old buddy of mine, John Kyle. So when I first went to college, was the first year we had the hockey team there. Oh, hold on. We have a Tracy sighting. She hasn't chimed in yet. Carla and Tracy ganging up on me. I think what those two do is they say, okay, I won't be there the first half hour, so you get on and give Tom a hard time, and then I'll get on the second half and give him a hard time. So that's just speculation on my part. So, okay, John Kyle. So my first year was the first year they had the hockey program at Northern Michigan. They then brought in, John came in my sophomore year. Him and his brother from Waterloo, Iowa. Not many hockey players from there. So he came in. We became good friends right away. And then his brother came in the next year. He transferred from Boston College. Had to sit out a year. So we would all live together. Let me see here. Hold on. I'm bouncing on the story a little bit. But customer service today is horrible. Verizon customer service told me, local Verizon store lied to me last week. They told me we didn't locate contacts anyone. I thought I lost 81 contacts. Yeah, that is tough with the contacts and service and that. Yeah. You know what's funny when you have to talk to somebody that you spent a lot of time with in the past, and then you tell some old stories and you think, is this really what happened? Like you have this recollection of what happened in the past, and then you have to ask them, is that really the way it worked? So we all lived together. They had a family car. We had a deal was that we were all going to practice together, rarely going to class. And so we said, okay, we'll take turns buying gas for the car. So I wasn't sure whose turn it was, but apparently it was Walt's turn to fill the car up with gas. He did not do that. We ran out of gas probably about, John remembers it would be like 100 yards away from the gas station. But none of us would get out of the car. We sat there for hours. Like we were also stubborn. There's just no way we're getting out of the car. Yes. Funny story. Let me see here. Good morning. I'm being respectful of your story. Oh, it's a great story. It's a good thing you're respectful too. That was a fantastic story. I feel better. All right, what do you got going here? I just spoke manager, ratted out the local line store. Oh, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Now, update on our dog situation. So behind my building, there's an open area that's kind of concealed. So again, you're supposed to have your dogs on a leash. It's town ordinance and it's a rule in your leash. Lease. So it's turned out that these people, like there's probably 10 of them now, have decided that they're going to use this area right behind my deck where I sit out as a dog walking park and not have the dogs on a leash. I think they feel like management can't see them, so they can get away with it. Well, that's just, it's one of those things that feel like if you don't nip it in the butt, right away, then it's gonna become a problem. So I try to be gentle at first. So that's where we're at. And it's escalated a couple times. I don't want to do that, but it's like if you're too nice, it's like, well, they'll say, I'm just going to do it anyways. Well, you can't have that happen. Let me see. You feel like Larry Melnick? No, do not. Don't go to that level. Okay, don't stoop to that. I mean, it's a terrible place to go. Let me see here. Is it true Hotsy is moving to your Greenwich condo to be closer to you? Well, if he's coming to Greenwich condo, it's not too close to me, but you never know. Hey, listen, there's no hatred there whatsoever. We just lead different lives. So he can live where he wants to live. I think he's out in Pennsylvania someplace, isn't he? What do we got here? Where's Dave Brown? Look out for the left. Dave Brown. We're going to try to get him on our Full Change podcast. Again, if you guys... I think most of you guys know this. The Full Change podcast. You can get that on all podcast platforms. Please like, share, and listen. And again, I apologize for missing this show last week. Tom Smith, the producer, is on vacation now, and will be on vacation next week. So we recorded a lot of shows on Wednesday and Thursday of last week. We usually just do a recording on Wednesday. So that's what it is. Let me see here. What else is going on? Do you hear about these like whales blowing up or something under the water? You hear all this stuff? Deb, you're the greatest. You are the greatest, Deb. She's saying that. That's the Tom Laidlaw show. I'm assuming that's why you're saying it. If you are, either way, thank you. Let me see here. Are we doing a listener event with Mel when he's in town? Yeah, so we're going to put that together. And again, James Patrick is going to be in town as well. So it'd be great to have him there. He's a good guy. Like I said, I don't know if people are all on at the start there. I was talking. I spoke to him. I left a message with him a while ago. He was really busy. He got his cabin done, but he, again, the team up there was sold. And the new owners, apparently, I can't remember what town it is. I think it's in Washington, D.C. or Washington D.C., Washington State. They wanted to have all American-born people working for the team. So James was not retained. He really wasn't fired. But again, the good thing was that he found out. People don't always tell you, but he was approached by several teams, and I won't tell him which ones. Tell you which ones. Let James do that if he wants to. But the good thing was he showed how much people were interested in him. In fact, he had one team in particular said that the general manager thought that James was the best coach of the Western Hockey League. So he's voluntarily decided to take the year off. He really threw his heart and soul into that team, and it's just the way it went down, and it was tough. But the way it went down was, I would rather see them do things a little bit differently. But that's you don't know all the details. So he was he was a little. It's like, you put so much into a team like that, and then it doesn't work out the way you want it to. It's like you really need to. And I think it's smart. He said, "Listen, I need to back away a little bit, recharge the batteries, and then go back at it again," because he wants to give the same effort to this new team he's going to go to that he gave to the old team. So I admired him for it. I told him, "Listen, it's worked out. A bad situation worked out great. More, I think, because of the way he carries himself too. He's such a gentleman and class act." So yeah, the Wenatchee Wild. Let me see. Hold on. The wedding is a week this Saturday. So my truck better be fixed by then, because it's Point Pleasant to take an Uber down there. And she's not getting a wedding gift at that. Just kidding. That's terrible. What date is this happening, Tracy Marie? See how Tracy has the capabilities here. That's just a nice, pleasant question. No judgment at all. Just a pleasant question. We do not know yet. So it probably be, I'm assuming, I'm assuming we do it right after the golf tournament. The golf tournament is September 18th. That's, is that a Saturday? No, that's during the week, isn't it? So obviously it makes more sense to try to do it on the weekend so everybody's free, or more people would be free. So let me see here. Let me see. I'd like to put so much effort into your bathroom shenanigans. Is like you putting so much effort into the bathroom shenanigans. Is like you. I see. I would not want to pick on Tracy Marie, but is like you putting so much effort into your bathroom shenanigans. Is like you. Well, what do we say about that statement? Maybe I could be reading it wrong, but it's a possibility. Let me see here. Oh, I see. Yes, G putting effort in. I see. So the same effort I put into my bathroom shenanigans, he puts into his working, and that's very true. He may work a little harder than that. So I'm bad. I have a pretty disciplined life, but somehow cleaning the house, it's not my best thing, right? I've got a 2.5 bathroom thing, so that means there's 3 toilets, and my pooping history. So yeah, I got to do a better job of having a regular schedule for cleaning the toilets. I get to the point where I've been doing something else, and I got to clean the toilets. So I won't tell you. Well, maybe we'll tell it later on. We'll see. I was in a state of preparing to get in the shower when all of a sudden I decided to clean the toilets the other day. Hence, funny stuff. Oh, hold on. Here we go. The disgust is beginning to pop up. Look at the old face slap there. Don't you call that a face slap? Do people really do that? Like if you're fed up, like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. The things this guy says, and then you just slap your face. Like you want to slap my face before you slap your own, right? Here we go. Yep, here we go. Oh, here is it. And then this is like after slapping the face, so you know she's disgusted, right? So it's, oh, here we go. Right? That's it right there. What's Deb up to here? The great Deb. We don't have a cleaning lady like dogs. We don't have a cleaning lady like dogs. Yeah, my parents clean their own house all the time. I have had a cleaning lady, but Yeah, I just should do a better job of it. I've got all the stuff to do it. I've got hardwood floors, so I've got those Swiffer wet jets and everything. It smells good after you use those things too. But, I track in a lot of sand from going to the beach and everything. So I get the broom and I clean up somewhat. I'm decent at it. Actually, my daughter-in-law, Leah Laidlaw, was over. I can't remember, it was like last Christmas or whatever. All of a sudden, she started cleaning because she was just disgusted. Like I cook a lot, right? So my kitchen stove, and it's a white stove. So obviously it gets a little dirty, and I don't always. Not my own. Let me see. Yeah, you need a lake like in Survivor. You can bathe and dump all at the same time. Well, if you want to call the Pacific Ocean a lake, I mean you could, but oh, I call it an ocean. A lot of people do, but hey, if you want to call it a lake, it's a body of water, right? You just whatever you want. Let me see. Yeah. Chris, I asked Chris if he thought Jeep would be an NHL head coach. And this fella, Jeep said he wouldn't get the opportunity. Oh, I don't agree with that. I think, see, one of the things with James is he was always, when his coaching career, he was like second fiddle, right? He coached a lot with Lindy Ruff. And James even talked about that Lindy had a real presence, so he was the leader. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That assistant coach, he acts as an assistant coach, not as the head coach. But since Jeep's been more of a head coach at junior, I think we even talked about it, that he feels even much more comfortable being a head coach. His age doesn't help him, but at the same time, especially if somebody knows James, and a lot of people do from him coaching so long and being a player, I think it's what a class act, like a real gentleman, the way he speaks and everything, great personality. So, and I think he understands much more about the way he wants to coach, and that's the key. You can't coach like anybody else coaches. I mean, you may end up being the same, but you can't coach the way someone else coaches because of them. You've got to coach the way you think is correct to coach, what suits your personality. So, we'll see. Let me see. The Jets are being featured on Hard Knocks. How would you have felt arranging? That would have been a blast. I heard there wasn't Aaron Rodgers complaining about it. I could see where, the preparation part of it, but especially our training camps back then. Training camp was fun. It was hard because we talked about so many times the way the older players back then, at least when I first came in, it started to change. But and it wasn't like they were being lazy, but their theory was they're going to rest their bodies during the summer, not work out, and then come and have a longer training camp. So they weren't in shape, they were overweight, and they would get in shape in training camp. But so we would go 2 days. But along with that, again, the whole team thing was okay. It's the team bonding. We're all together, so the guys are going out and having fun, and it would have been hilarious to have Hard Knocks. I don't think it would bother me at all. I think it would have bothered somebody like a Herb Brooks, the whole preparation thing. But it's more like training camp is more about. You're coming in as a young player, you got to try to make the team. But as you're an older player, it's more about conditioning, getting ready to play the season. But it was still fun. We had a blast. I remember training camp being a blast. It was, like I said, it was hard. But let me see. Yeah. Ira is a finance guy, not a social studies person. Lake Ocean. So, see, Tracy Marie's slightly on my side on that one. Right, slightly, not a full dive in. And they shouldn't just she stuck her toe in the water. Water, ocean, lake. Yeah, there you go. Let me see. Yeah, we got Ira coming up with here. So, how were Herb's assistant coaches? Was it true they needed to keep Laidlaw out of the bars? Ira. Nope. Herb came to me one time. He says, right when at ice during practice, and said, "Laidlaw, I drove by the bar at 2:00, and your car was still there. I drove by at 4:00, it was still there." And I said to him, he liked this stuff too. I said, "Yeah, if you drove by at 6:00, it still would have been there." So, no, the assistant coaches now, back then, and it's like this now, but assistant coaches were all players at one time, and they still are now. But back then, it was different where they understood what guys were doing, but they also understood. Listen, the rule is, if you're gonna fly with the Eagles at night, you wall with the pigs in the morning. Actually, that was Herb Brooks' sort of saying. At least he used it, anyways. So it's like, yeah, okay, that's what the team guys do. They go out and have fun together, but they better come to practice the next day. And as long as you were that guy that was the hardest guy at practice working, then go do what you want to do. Don't go crazy, but. Yeah, that's just it's harder to understand it now because you see the way the players are now. It's totally different, but that's the way like all of pro sports was really. You hear the stories about Mickey Mantle and all those guys with the Yankees, and Who says, listen to me? Mr. Greshna. Listen to me. It's one of those things where she doesn't even know he's saying it. It's just a standard thing. Let me see. It's great teaching those kids. Yes. Yes. You see here, the Rangers were followed by, for a year by Larry Ratso-Sloman, who wrote a book filled with dirt and gossip. Yes, on thin ice. Yes, we have discussed that before. I came in right at the end of that year. So there's a picture of me in the book with I think they wrote something short about me, but I had the cowboy hat on and everything, thinking I was so cool. But that it was funny because he told everybody too, supposedly I wasn't there, that he was going to follow him around. I guess the people at Madison Square Garden wanted him to do it because the team had gone to the finals the year before, right? Yeah, and it was Ron Duguay's in Studio 54 and all that. And that's what they wanted. They also owned the Jets, I believe, at that time, and they what's his name? Quarterback, the Playboy quarterback. I don't remember his name, but they wanted him out. So they had, I can't remember if they hired Ratso-Sloman to do it or just suggested he do it, but gave him full access. And he told me, he said, listen, hold on, I had a blank there. So he followed everybody around and got full access to parties, practice, games. I guess the problem was he wrote everything, but he told everybody, I'm going to write everything. You guys be aware of this. So they would say things thinking, well, maybe he won't write. Well, like Steve Vickers made a comment about the guy, Ray Markham. He's a big guy, up and down from the minors all the time. And Steve Vickers was funny. He said, he asked about Ray Markham. He said, well, he's strong enough to lift a tractor, but he's not smart enough to start it. And, funny line, right? But he didn't, you're not assuming that's going to get back to the guy, but Ratso wrote it in the book. There's a few other things that he wrote that some players were not too happy about. But he, again, in fairness, he told everybody he was going to do it. So, well. No, he's not, unfortunately. It's a distance thing. He was in last year. The Garden and the Rangers treat us fantastic as far as spending money for events like this and having us out in public and all that. But they've got to be somewhat careful. It costs, like bringing Barry in from Hong Kong. It costs so much. And again, his health, it doesn't stop him from coming up. It can't be an excuse, but so it's, but it's good to talk about. But like I said, we were concerned when we recorded our full change podcast with him that we may not be able to edit it enough to clean it up because the reception was terrible and there's delays and all that. But apparently Tom Smith he's pretty good with that stuff, so he's got it to the point where I don't think it's posted yet, but. So it was really good to see him, much better than we saw him at the golf tournament last year. And I would not discuss this unless he'd done it publicly. He had a lot of problems. He was still in the middle of his addiction issue with the sleeping pills, and the numbers were unbelievable he was taking. So, but to have him when I had him on the show, he's much better. The poor man's been through a lot. Obviously, with his involvement with Mark Pavlich, with his son being murdered, and then his mother just passed away recently as well, too. So. Let me see here. Big, great Ira Matthew. MSG blew the budget this year since Mel requires 4-star hotels. So I think I mentioned this. He wants to stay a little longer, and like he wanted to stay with me for I think it was like 6 days or something. I said, Mel, we'll kill each other. Let's be honest. Like you can stay here a couple of nights, but stay 6 days. So. Yes, he is. He's got a little bit of, for the tough man that he is, he's got a little bit of the diva thing, Yeah. Poor Jackie was dealing with them. And for some reason, I don't know if it's a communication just from Canada to the U.S., but it shouldn't be a problem. But there's a problem with communication. So it was dragging on, and Mel was getting frustrated. All good, though. All good. Yes, Deb, thank you. And what a great guy. It's interesting when you do the show with him and he first starts talking, it's like you feel like you're watching a game, right? That voice of his so distinct. What a gentleman. We've done one with Kenny Albert as well. Kenny Albert's got a book coming out. It's awful. I'll post it again, but he talks about it on the show. But Kenny Albert and Sam Rosen are like twins in that they are total professionals at their job. They can do any sport, and they're the nicest people too. It's like it's all almost when you first meet them and you realize how nice they are. You go, come on, they're really not that nice, right? But that's just who they are. Great family people, great at their jobs, totally motivated. Yeah, they want to. It isn't just that they want to be good at it. They want to do it the best possible way that they can do it. So the preparation. Sam talked about it. I'll let you watch the show, but there's, the people that influenced him, even though he was, one of the top people, like this people came into his world. We talked about John Davidson, the difference he made, the preparation part. That was the thing. Like when I first got done playing in LA, I think I told people that I started the agent business, and I also was doing broadcasting. I was working for the San Jose Sharks. And I was really interested in the broadcasting. I reached out, spoke to JD a number of times, and he was so helpful to me about talking about things that he learned, the work ethic. He had the satellite dish, watching all the games and everything. And I got into that. He was really good. He was great in saying that. It was very motivational, actually. He said, he's proud of his career as a player, but he thought, man, he should have got more out of it. And I hope I'm paraphrasing here, but but he didn't want that to happen again with his broadcasting. He was going to be the best possible. And I think ultimately he became the best, at least in the hockey world, doing the color commentating. So, let me see. Carla, good to see you again or hear from you. You and Tracy teaming up, 2 years. Let me see here. Great job by Ref Dan Rourke, who was biking from California to Chicago to raise money for the National Fund. Oh, that is cool. I think I saw that a while ago, but thanks, Susan, for reminding me that. That's excellent. Yeah, don't you love when people do that stuff? Like the hockey world, we had that event we talked about already. I think we did last week at Terry Connor's shoulder check. Young boy had lost his life in Darien, Connecticut, 16-year-old young boy. And Dave Maloney was MC. I was there. A bunch of current players were there. Chris Kreider, they were fantastic. This rink, it's one of those smaller rinks, but it must have had close to 2,000 people in there. It was packed. So they came up. It's more of a movement. Shoulder check is. This was the first. This game was the first event of many, hopefully. But the idea is, and I didn't quite get shoulder check. I knew that's a hockey term, but actually Dave did a really good job at the event. So he had everybody in the building stand up, and everybody did. All the players on the ice. There was other young players that were the boys' age that they played a game as well. So it must be like 40 or 45 players on the ice, and then all the people in the stands. And the idea was you stand up, reach out with your left hand, put it on the person to the left, obviously, shoulder. And I can't remember the three phrases. There's three phrases. Basically, was saying, "Listen, I'm here for you. Are you okay? Do you need anything?" So it's really cool. So the concept is they mainly for young kids because their son was 16, so that's what they really want to target. But it's for everybody really about reaching out to other people to making sure that they're okay instead of just walking by. Because we all do it, right? We're busy with their own lives, and sometimes if somebody's like hurting, depression, if they're feeling suicidal, it's really just making sure that they know that there's other people there for them that care about them. And again, that doesn't solve the whole problem, but it helps a lot. So that people, because a lot of it is there's been people, and we've had in our Full Change podcast, we've had guys on that attempted suicide, and that's really part of what they felt was that they're not really worthy. Like it was Richie Peelan was very open about saying that his family would be better off without him. So I made that decision. Now, again, can't blame the family; they didn't know what was going on. But it's like if somebody was there to say to him, well, "You are important. You're an important person in the world." He's doing fantastic things now for kids. Obviously, he's changed his life totally when he speaks. And his show that we had, Modern Full Change, was a powerful show. Like he's kind of he said it a couple of times. He said, "Tom, can I just keep going?" I said, "Yes, go." He's a great speaker now. A very powerful story about what he's gone through. So, yeah, here we go. See that publicly, bonding. Have a great day, you magical creature. See, it's I don't want to get into it. Just it's the same old Tracy Marie. Yeah, they were good, weren't they? Great guys, man. It's awful. Maybe you can remember Kenny Albert's book. Is his show? I think his show's been out. What is it? An Eye for All Seasons. For all seasons, I believe that's what it's called. But I'll get that to you. It's coming out in October, I believe. He actually wrote it himself. A lot of times, like in my book, I've got it right. I know my book's been going on for years. We'll get that done sometime. But he wrote it himself. Like he felt very comfortable. He talked about doing his own writing and wrote it. And I think it's Bantam Books, his publishing form. So he's got some great stories too. And it is good. Like you get those two guys on, they're such professionals. Um, you really get ask them really one question and they could go on and on forever. They don't because they're very polite and respectful of that, but you can tell they love doing it. You know, I love with Sam too. I always ask him. I said, Sam, how long are you going to do this? He just smiles at me all the time. He says, forever, Tommy. I'm not quitting. So he's pretty cool. Let me see, Tom. Do you have an 800 hotline for calls? I don't know if Tracy's joking or not. No, I don't have an 800 hotline. I think you've been serious. No, but I do get a lot of calls more and more now from people who are a lot of mental health issues. I think they see all the shows we do. The hockey probably is part of it. Again, I am getting more and more now. I actually talking to my old buddy that watches the show, John Kyle, up at Marquette, Michigan. And he says, yeah, you switched away from hockey almost entirely now. It's all mental health stuff. And that's not the intention. I still like to talk about hockey, but it does seem like the mental health has become more of a focus point with everybody, and as it should be. And once you get into it and you start seeing that you're helping other people, it's like, that becomes more of who you are. So, Matthew, we don't realize it. Oh, Tom, not you. Oh, we didn't realize. Oh, Barry Shelley. Well, at least you're here, Barry. You come to my rescue. I was out there all by myself. Carla was here. Tracy Marie was here. And you were not there to save me. At least you're here now. What do you think of Karlsson going to the Penguins? Did he ultimately? I missed it. Did he go? I apologize. I know there's a lot of talk about him going there. This is going to sound odd to say. I'm not the biggest Karlsson fan. I know he's a heck of a talented player, but I think you saw it. Now Letang is getting older, and I don't think he's at the level that Karlsson is. But it's they saw it in San Jose where they had too much. I think of the same thing with Burns and Karlsson there. I just think Karlsson's kind of like that soft guy. I don't know the man at all, but he's a super talented player. I just don't see him as that kind of guy that come playoff time when it really gets nasty out there or nastier. He just hasn't shown that that's his thing. Now, I know when he was in Ottawa, they went to the finals one year, I believe, or at least the semifinals. And again, I want to be careful because he just won the Norris. If I want to win the Stanley Cup, if that's my goal, which I think that's still the Penguins' goal, I just don't. Yeah, I don't know. But again, he is talented. So, Mike for all season. That's right. Thank you. What is I think an I? Yeah, Mike for all season. And apparently the I in Mike is a microphone in the book. So there's Lorraine. What's happening there, magical creature? Mr. Serious. Me serious? Laugh my. There's the multiple. Maybe 100 date me. Oh, jeez. See, just when I thought maybe she's really being serious. No. First thing I see when I comment on the show is you showing a post of Tracy. Yeah, see, right. And she says it's all about me. Thank you, Barry. Thank you. Please come on time from now on. Okay, so you could defend me like that. It's almost like like she tells me, sends messages to subliminal messages, right? That I have to post her questions or statements at least 10 times during the show. Like it's a contractually deal that she wants. It's all about her. She says it's about me. Man. Hi, Barry. Don't let her suck up to you. Don't let her suck up to you. Barry, don't. I know you're a smart man. Hope everyone knows that today is National Be Kind to Tom Day. Thank you, Barry. See, thank God Barry is here, man. You give me beautiful Karlsson's jacket. I wasn't going to go that far. I don't know the man. I don't like him as a player. Again, he's very talented, but stop your whining, Thomas. Oh goodness, she's calling me Thomas now too. Oh goodness. Oh my gosh. But But please tell me if I missed that or not. I know there's a lot of talk about him going to Pittsburgh. I don't know if you're asking about that possibility or if he actually went already. I kind of, when the summer goes around now, I just don't pay attention much to the hockey news that's happening around the world. How about these whales that are dying everywhere? I was listening to Boomer and Geo this morning on the Fan here in New York and CBS Sports Radio, Sports TV. And they're talking about the whales all dying or something, getting blown up. Where's Melanie? Let's talk about the wedding date situation. Well, right now I'm solo. So that's the wedding date situation. I got to be able to get there. I got to get this truck fixed so I can drive down there. Else I'm going to take an Uber. It's going to cost me like $200 each way. There's the wedding gift right there. Sorry about that. Jackie? No, I would not do that to her. Let me see. Yeah. Chris Tite. Have we seen Chris Tite on here before? Hi, Chris. How you doing? If we haven't, you're a newbie here. Good to meet you. Where's Melnick? Well, based on some of the videos I've seen, he looks like today. He looks like he's in Mexico or something. I'm addicted to that. Oh God. Let me see. Yeah, it's getting late in the summer. Is there be a barbecue where we all can meet, get to know each other? Yeah, we got to. I've got to get on the cooking show thing. I've got to get on the date of the barbecue. So Larry Melnick and I believe James Patrick are coming in for the golf tournament on the 18th of September. So we probably do it around that date. You know who else? Or we're hoping is going to come in is Pierre LaRouche too. Man, what a good guy he is. He's got what a personality he is too. He's funny. I saw him in Pittsburgh. Was it last season when we went in with a bunch of fans, and season before. So he comes up. We were pretty close, and he comes up and gives me a big hug. Held on for like 2 minutes. It was funny. It's funny for that kind of stuff. Like we were playing, like we're hugging each other. Now we're getting older. It's like, yeah, hug. Yeah, Barry. Yeah, you may be right on this one. You just want to leave it the way it is. What are your feelings about the Rangers going into training camp? Well, it's a great question. Everybody knows I was a big Gerard Gallant supporter before they hired him, and even now. But Chris Drury's made a lot of good moves, and obviously he was the one that let Gallant go. And I kind of wonder something. Like I've always thought, listen, coaches get way too much credit when a team wins, and they get way too much blame when the team loses. So they've gone to what's his name, Laviolette, who's won the Stanley Cup before. But I was going to say and I've said this before, he gets fired a lot too. But all coaches are getting fired now. Rarely does a coach stay in one place very long. So, coach to start with, certainly a capable coach. At the end of the day, the players have to go out and play. Like they didn't go out and play. It didn't matter who was going to coach them last year in the playoffs. They did not go out and play. They can't, and they showed that the year before in the playoffs. Goaltending is world class. That's now the way Gallant coached was, and this is with a purpose. It was like go score goals. We've got a great goaltender back here. If we give up a lot of chances, we give up a lot of chances. That's the way I'm summing it up that way. But they've got the talent to do it. The question, there's a couple of questions. So the young kids at Kid Line has to do better, right? Both for now and for the future. I mean, they're all high draft picks, high expectation, high talented players. Now, were they affected last year when they brought in Tarasenko and brought in Kane, and now those guys are bumped down in the lineup? I don't know that. I speculate that could have been, but they've got to learn a lesson from that. That there's going to be bad things that are going to happen to you during your career. You've got to fight through it. They've got the grit. They've shown they've got the grit, but that has to come out. You see playoff hockey now. The teams that win, like Vegas just pounded Florida last year in the finals, right in this past finals. It was the physical. It's the intimidation part of fighting and all that. That's gone. There's some of that, but it's more like the pounding. So the Rangers have to either do more of that themselves or not let that stop them from doing what they're going to do. Because that's going to be, you start getting the reputation that you're going to back away from physical play, then you're in trouble. And again, the Rangers aren't there right now, but this is kind of a turning point where they've got to say, okay, because they've got it. We are going to fight through things to win the Stanley Cup. because that's got to be the window. You think, well, Shesterkin's going to be at Shesterkin for another 10 years or whatever. Well, yeah, but that window closes pretty quickly. But if you got a player like Shesterkin, you got to take advantage of it. And the other great players they've got, like Kreider. I know people get on Kreider. I love him as a player. I think he's an excellent player. Do you sometimes want more? Well, yeah, because he's so good, right? But I just think he's a tremendous leader, work ethic. Zibanejad is more of a quiet leader, but a talented player. So they've got all the tools they need to win. It's just, again, it's that mentality inside the locker room to really become that team that wins. So let me see here. Barry Shelley, magical veteran you. And second thought, maybe we don't. Yeah. Maybe give Jackie a manuscript of Full Change podcast for a gift. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's a good idea. Wouldn't that be special to get an autographed picture of me from Survivor as a wedding gift? Put that up on the wall there in your apartment, and just every day you get up and you're like, "There's Tom." Huh? Great idea, but you, Tracy. Man, you are one smart woman. Man, sharp as a tack. It was a 3-team deal with the Sharks and Canadiens. Sharks got Gannon and Hoffman. Montreal got Casey Smith, Jeff Petrie, who just went to Detroit. Wow, I'm on a loop. Thank you, Susan, for filling me in here. That's why we do the show here every Thursday, so Susan can tell us the hockey news. Well, that's a big trade. Good job. So hit 3 teams: Sharks and Canadiens. Sharks, Canadiens, and Pittsburgh. Sharks get Granlund and Hoffman. Montreal gets the Casey Smith, and Jeff Petrie. Wow. Petrie just went. Because Petrie, I think, was there in Montreal before Sylvain. He's a decent player. Steve Yzerman's building up a good team again there in Detroit. And maybe get a guy like Petrie's a little bit older. Maybe he's saying to the guys, listen, maybe we're closer than we think we are. I don't think they're an NHL, a Stanley Cup winning team yet, but certainly a team that should make the playoffs, especially with those additions he's made. So thank you, Susan, very much. Let me see. Can I make a request? Can you please have Torts on the show? Yeah, we could do that. That'd be an excellent show, yeah. Because he's not coaching at all right now, right? He didn't get rehired any place. No. How about Mike Babcock going to Columbus? That was kind of a shock to me. I thought he kind of, although JD and that organization, they're willing to try some different things. And Babcock has proven that he's a good coach. It's just all the other garbage came with him. But we've had Ken Hitchcock, who's good friends with Babcock. We had him on our Full Change podcast, and obviously he's friends, so he's going to support him. But he did it with some logic that, he compared Babcock to himself, Hitchcock, that they learned things. They learned, yes, they had a certain style. It was a little abrasive at times, but they didn't spend enough time showing the players that they really appreciated their efforts. Now, it'd be interesting. Torts. Babcock would be interesting too, because it was good with Hitchcock because I've not been supportive of him in the past, and I told him on the show, and he was great. He didn't, he knew what was coming. He knows what people think of him. So, will you be at the SEAL Swim this coming weekend? A big thank you to Bill Brown for all his work with the veterans. That's going to depend on my car if I get that all fixed. I'd hate to miss this because in the worst case scenario, instead of going to Jersey City where I'd have to drive, I could always take the train to the city and then meet them down when they get out of the water. It's still a great event at that part, but being at Liberty State Park when they have all the speeches and everything is the best. So yes, Bill Brown, retired SEAL who started this swim across the Hudson and continues to spearhead it, was very complimentary to our Barry Shelley, our veteran, for doing a lot of things to help other veterans. So that's pretty cool. I thought that he recognized you. Wally Thacker from Coquitlam, BC. Friend of Larry Melnick's. I don't know. It's fair to call Wally a friend of Larry Melnick's. He's just an acquaintance, right? That's right. What was I thinking? Yeah, I forgot all about Torts coaching the Flyers. Yeah. Thank you, Rich Isaac. Oh, man, I'm out of the hockey loop right now. It's bad. So he may not come on, given that he's a Flyers and it's kind of a Ranger-centric. Yes, he is. Sorry, Tracy Rain. I forgot. There is no expectation of us being perfect. All right, Tracy? We all make mistakes. Just the point is just try to get better every day. My goodness. I wish would come on. He's a Flyer coach. Yeah. So, yeah, he's not. I don't think he would come on because of that. Rangers, Flyers. Have you ever heard of Lyft? Yes, have, Susan. But there's a cost associated with that. Oh, my goodness. To get down to Point Pleasant, New Jersey from here, it'd probably be like $200 on an Uber. but we will get there. If I was to call Jackie right now and say, Jackie, I won't be able to make it, wouldn't be good. That'd be bad. So wouldn't do that to her. Would not do that to her. Knuckles seems like he liked that coach Bergeron. Seems like he liked that coach Bergeron. I don't know if that's serious statement. Well, I'm talking about Larry. Larry didn't like Bergeron. Maybe Knuckles did, but he was. Knuckles was the kind of guy with most coaches he liked, because most coaches would like Chris Nyland. I mean, he just goes up and does his job, or he did go and do his job. What do we got here? What do we got? Okay, let's see. It's like I have to put Tracy's statements up. You're not in a hockey state of mind. That's your life and business. Imagine this crap. That's not. Yeah, you're not in a hockey state of mind. That's your life and business. Imagine. Well, jeez. I didn't say it's not totally. It's like it's a summertime. Got a lot of other things going on. Their mental health stuff. Presentation on yesterday. Chase Bank people. It's a tough world. Barry, where are you? Where are you, Barry? Where are you? Tom would love to pick you up and drive you. Well, drive you great. Jeez. Oh, when I am in time of need from my best buddy, Barry Shelley, what do I get? Oh, my goodness. Okay. I think Bergeron's still alive. I didn't know that Torts was coaching. I forgot that Torts was coaching in Philadelphia. So, take Gresh is your number +1. He can drive you to the wedding. Actually, Gresh will be in, from what I understand, will be in Saskatchewan. He's getting inducted into the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame for his long service in the National Hockey League. That'd be interesting. So no, I won't be doing that. No. All right. So we had a guy, Michael Ali, that used to work for the Rangers. He works for the Islanders now. He's good friends with Jackie, so he'll be there single. So him and I'll be dancing together. And then our young friend Taylor, who also works for the Rangers, she'll be there. So we'll all be dancing together. We'll have. I think what's this going on? I think I should be careful about the guest list. That's Jackie's thing. So take my magic carpet. Oh my goodness! Take the magic carpet. Remember, was it last year? Hockey organization. Oh God, it's gonna be terrible. I remember forget their name. It's a really good charity too. But they invited me out to just an event to raise money at a rink, and they had a dunk tank there. Of course, I had to get the dunk tank, so they got me a pair of shorts for the dunk tank. They sent a message again recently to if I want to come again. So absolutely, I actually would like to do the dunk tank during the winter. See if we can raise a bunch of money to do it. People would like to see me freezing my rear end off, right? It'd be fun. Yes, Susan, I can. That may be, well, the mechanic's on vacation this week, so he's back. The dude to take my car in on Tuesday. He said, give it to me for a couple of days and I'll get this fixed. And I got total faith in him. So that means it'll be done for the wedding. So it'll be fine. I can actually probably drive it the way it is. It's like, it makes this noise, random noise, like it's grinding up like Totsy's head underneath the car or something. Let's see. Are you calling Tom a genie, Tracy? Three wishes, yeah. 3 wishes. You see, Superior Ice Rink, dunk tank. Yeah, is that the Superior Ice Rink? Yeah, that was a fun event. Yeah, it's a good time. Very good time. Dunk tank was good. I want to plan it more so we can raise more money, though. Like, get it, like, make sure people like antagonize. I try to antagonize people so they want to dunk me as many times as possible. That's blast. That's good. Superior. That's Tracy. She's on top of things. That's right. Yeah. That's another one. Oh, hold on. I didn't show up for it. That's right. But hold on. What am I doing? I forgot all about this. Newsflash. For 2 weeks in a row now, Tracy Marie has come up with an excuse for not being on this very show. How could I have forgotten that? I guess I think the first time she had to rearrange her sock drawer. And I think the next time she had to walk her cat. I think that's what it was. So just turn the radio up and noise magically disappears. Yes, this is true. So, that's kind of what happened. I was outside watching my little YouTube on my TV outside, and woman and I next door, we've got a great understanding now. I've learned to keep my volume down a little bit. She controls the dog and everything, so her and I are very good. So some new guy came walk along without his dog on a leash, and that dog went over to friends, my neighbor's dogs. So the two of them dogs are just standing there yapping. So instead of me getting a confrontation, I said, "Well, I'll just turn the volume up on my phone, my TV." I turned it up a little bit. They didn't stop, so I turned it up some more. All of a sudden, I stopped. Then I had to turn it back down again. I just aggravating, man. Again, the lady next to me is so nice. I didn't realize I always had my TV too loud because it may have been a little bit of retaliation for the dogs, and she was very kind and mentioned it to me, and I realized, you know what, she's a sweet person. I'm going to turn the TV down. Oh, here we go. I don't have a cat. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but it's always an excuse with, I gotta go out of my way with Ira and everybody out there on the island. So here's where I'm going to be. They come out. Ira shows up, unfortunately, but Tracy's always got an excuse. Yeah. For someone so in tune with people's feelings, you have a lot. No. See, respect is the word. So if you lead a respectful life towards others, you should demand that you get that same respect back. We have town ordinances for construction work, when that's supposed to stop, the noise for construction work. The dogs are supposed to be on leashes. The people are supposed to pick up after their dogs. We have clauses in our lease that the dogs are supposed to be on a leash. So those should be respected. Respect is the key word. I respect I'm very kind to other people. In the winter, you clean off other people's cars, you help them out carry stuff that people can't carry inside. You're always there to help out. So do the right thing. Let me see. Please hold. I have to turn up the vacuum. I should vacuum more too. I gotta get it. I've gotten out of the habit of keeping my place really clean. Not good. It's always fun reading Tracy's reply. Good job, Barry. Let's throw it back at her. Just threw it right back at her. Yeah. Lieutenant Laidlaw, yep. I know. There's times, you think it's when you get wrapped up in it, and then you get up in the morning and you go, oh, man, I got to face these people again. But such is life. We're all going to, the world's... Okay, so I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but I don't know if you've seen a few of the theories with these Hawaii fires, where a lot of people, I guess you call them conspiracy theorists, think that we have satellites up in the space. We now shoot down lasers and start fires. And they go through all the logic of, how much the land is worth. And now, I did actually see a video on YouTube where a guy was getting interviewed saying that people are already, and this is apparently a guy that lives in Hawaii, saying that people are already coming up to him, asking him if they can buy their properties at pennies on the dollars. And they just know people just died and everything. So he put the whole thing that it's like, okay, people just died here. Now you're offering to buy these properties already. You can't wait. And then the conspiracy theorists think it's all so interesting stuff that's out there. Let me see. I want proof of you cleaning off someone's car. Okay, I'll do videos for you. Okay, guys, John Tonelli's mother-in-law and father-in-law live right across from me. Older couple. So I go, I'll get her on the show. She'll verify that because I go over their place and clean their car off every day. She calls me up and says, oh, we just love you, Tom. But the Tracy kids can't handle that. Let me see here. Yeah. I wish it would have been hired as a just me. Coaching. I like coaching kids, but coaching at the end, because I was an NHL player, so I know what a goofball I was. Like you're basing your career off a bunch of young men who, like I was, think that they're living a real world, and they're not. They're living in this fantasy world, and now they're making so much money. There's and I was spoiled too. So I'm not saying these guys today are spoiled. We were all spoiled. So it's hard to. Like coaching us is like herding cats. So, Jeep, US Jeep. I'm sorry. Yes, US Jeep has been hired. I hope, I think after his head coaching experience now in junior, I don't think, and I'm not speaking for him, but I don't think he'd go back to the pros as a assistant coach. I think he now has become more of a head coach. We just spoke recently, but he did not say to me that he would not do that. But I think he's much more suited to be a head coach now because of the head coaching experience he's gotten. Okay, when we have no snow lately. Well, okay, I didn't say that. I did it like yesterday. It's when there's snow on the car. Can you see? Oh my goodness. Thank you, Barry. Tom always cleans as he goes. Yep. Cleans your cook, cleans your drive. There you go, Barry. Then you're back in, you're back from the dark side. Oh, can you see me walk around in the nude cleaning my toilets the other day? Just it came to me. I was just about to get in the shower and I thought, I looked at the toilets. I got to clean that. And I realized, well, I can't just clean the one toilet, so I get the other two, so I have to clean them. Going up and down the stairs with no clothes on. Should have videoed that. Whoa, Tracy, back up. Come on. Get are you drunk? What is attacking somebody else? It's okay if you attack me. But man, you're vicious today. Yes, so nude toilet cleaning. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Yes. So, do you think I've gotten Tracy Marie's up here at least 10 times like she requires me to? Right? It's all about me. It's all about me. But I'm Tracy Marie. I have to be up there on the screen. Whoop, almost broke the equipment here. I have to be up there on the screen at least 10 times. And when she tell again, it's a subliminal thing. It's like she doesn't use the words. Like it's reading between the words. This is how it works. Oh, I saw a funny video. Okay. So I really got into watching these reels and everything. So a woman is up, she's in a crowd of people, and there's a 2 or 3 guys on a panel, and apparently the crowd is asking questions. So this woman says, I really love my husband, fantastic guy, but it kind of aggravates me that I always have to tell him what to do. Like if I want a hug, I have to say to him, "Can you please hug me?" Or if I want to go on a date, I have to say, "Can we please go on a date?" And is there anything I can do to kind of train him to understand me better and what I want? And the man goes, "Well, you do understand you married a man. He listens to about 25% of what you say, and he understands probably about 5% of that 25% of the things you said to him." I just thought it was pretty funny, the communication between men and women, right? Like, we don't. It's better off to, isn't it better off for both parties to say, listen, we don't speak the same language, so we need to, like if a man says to his wife or girlfriend or whatever, says, "Are you okay, honey?" If she just says, "Well, yeah," then he's thinking you've said yes, so everything's fine. So he just moves on. Where what you're really saying is, in your own way, no, not everything's okay, right? But that's where things kind of get lost in the shuffle. Let me see. I'm not gonna put that one on from Tracy Marie. That's just vicious. Let me see. Yeah, Danny, I have a horrible eye infection. You can barely see Tom. Are you being serious? Okay, we weren't here, so I was wondering what was going on. If you do have an eye infection, I feel terrible. I had something like that before I went on Survivor. I know I was on Survivor. It just I hot cloth. They said hot cloth, and I actually had a sty in my eye or something like it was. Let me see. Yeah, what is she saying? Barry Shelley, yes, and now they play soccer. I don't know where that came from, but I guess it's just a communication between those two. Tom would have a woman begging him to turn on the AC. Not happening. No. It's going to be interesting in September when Mel comes out. It should be cooler by then, anyways. But there's no air conditioning. No way. Let's see here. Let's get back to work. Thanks, Tom. You too, Lorraine. Good to see you again. Thank you for your support against the one and only Tracy Marie. Have a great day, Lorraine. That Barry's a sweet man, isn't he? Man, he's a good guy. Good guy. I've told the story before, but it's worth telling again. So Barry had contacted me years ago, I think it was, right, Barry, about having me sign some stuff. I said, sure, yeah, send it to me. I'll sign it. No problem at all. And, we do a lot of that. And Barry got stuff. And then he was so thankful for me doing it. He did not have to do this. He took the patch off his uniform that he wore for like 20 years as a military police officer, military police. Took the patch off and sent it to me. And I was like, it's very emotional because it's obviously very important. He did not have to do that, but that shows the kind of guy he is. And he's done, I know Bill Brown, the retired Navy SEAL, pointed out Barry does so many great things for everybody, but particularly other veterans. And for Bill Brown, who's quite a jump to notice that and to shout out to Barry about it, that was pretty cool. So, again, I keep forgetting. So August 19th, obviously this Saturday, is the swim across the Hudson. Again, fantastic event at Liberty State Park. It starts. They're going in the water early, probably going in the water around 8 o'clock in the morning. So all the ceremonies, and everything, really worthwhile seeing. I think they're going to start around 6:30 in the morning at Liberty State Park at the monument there, where the two big walls are with all the names of people that were lost. So that's a great event. Again, it's for the Navy SEAL Foundation. If you want to make a donation, you can go to the Navy SEAL Foundation and donate there. But again, Saturday morning, this coming Saturday morning, the 19th. Again, the ceremonies start around 6:30. They go in the water at 8. I tell you, it's a worthwhile event to go to. It's kind of life changing. It's so motivational and patriotic as well. Just to see all these. It's mainly Navy SEALs, but there's other people as EMTs and police officers and that as well. There's some women that participate as well. So that's a great event. Again, they'll get over to Lower Manhattan probably around 11 o'clock by the time they get to Lower Manhattan. And again, that's not as big of a ceremony, but it's still pretty special to see them marching through the streets with the flags over their shoulders, the bagpipes and all that. So again, Navy SEAL Foundation, if you want to make a donation for that this Saturday. And it is on Fox and Friends, I think, as well, if you can't get there. But they don't show all the stuff that, it's still enough. But I don't know if they show all the speeches and everything. Like the first time I went to it, I wasn't prepared that all the speeches were going to happen. But man, it just like the goosebumps. You get tears in your eyes. It was so patriotic. So, all right, here. 6 years ago, that was when you sent batch. Yeah, that's when we started. I think had we started the first Laidlaw Challenge, we should do another Laidlaw Challenge. And Barry, so the idea of the Laidlaw Challenge was the theory is different theories, but that you can form a habit or create a new habit or change a habit in 21 days. So we did a 21-day challenge. The idea was that everybody just get up an hour earlier than they're normally doing, and if you've got something that you had always wanted to do, you just hadn't got to yet. You start doing that during that extra hour in your day. And Barry's thing was he wanted to build the replica of Rank in his attic, which he's done. And it's pretty cool. He's got the Hall of Fame and all that kind of stuff. So let me see. Yeah. Have you been to Whiskey A Go-Go in LA? I think of an 80s bar tour in September. I don't think it was a Whiskey A Go-Go. We didn't, at that point in my career, I really wasn't going to bars that much. It gave me over. I'd mark them home and have a cocktail sitting up by my pool I had with the house we were renting. Don't start, Danny. Don't start. I didn't sign. No. I signed various. I would not do that to him. Tom's hosting the swim across the Mianus. It's a river up here called the Mianus. It's actually called Mianus. We had a show on. We had Dave Maloney on one show. And Dave's such a gentleman too. I kept saying my anus, and it was driving him nuts. He says, "Tom, it's my anus, please." It's really not his style to talk like that. So we'd swim across my anus. Tony Long, about time, Tony. How are you? Good to see you. Let me see here, guy. Since you may not be able to go head to Costco and take a swim in the lobster tank, there you go. That would work. Yeah. Oh, there's a pool here at our complex. I'll go swim in the pool. Naked. Clean the toilets. Can you imagine? Oh, I was laughing at myself, right? All of a sudden, I had to clean the toilets in a few weeks, maybe months. And I was just about to get in the shower. I thought, one of the things that you got to clean the toilet. So clean the toilet with no pants, nothing on. Totally naked. Oh, yeah. There. His car's acting up. He will sit home and complain about Pepper and his car noises. That is pretty much what my life's become. Jason, we cannot argue that. Larry Matthews goes to swim across the bathtub, man. Oh God, I tell you, I get on these reels and I get stuck on it, and I see these things. I can't help but post the Larry Matthews post. Now it's becoming an addiction. You're gonna have to get help. There, just push the heat to under, see if we can survive that. We can survive that, no problem at all. Oh, here we go. It's a real shitty body of water. My anus. Tracy Murray, what's wrong with you? Oh, yep, you're right there, Barry. Not wrong, but don't you think? Isn't that just the same site she gets on every day? right? Isn't that do we get anything different? It just seems like that's just the way it is. Without the truck, have you been able to go to Costco? Yeah, my mechanic feels it's safe to drive like short distances. So at first I did. I haven't driven it in 2 or 3 days. Just it aggravates me. It's like it's supposed to work properly. So I'm getting, well, see, I have the thing. I've got food for months, but I just love going to Costco. So I've got to get there. He wasn't there actually last time I was there. His boss was there. His boss is a big Survivor fan. So now every time I go there, he's like wanting to have his baby, wanting me to have his baby or something. So let me see. Let me see. Well, when Mel did that belly slide, oh, he was out. He was out. Oh God. All right. Well, it's good to see, Barry gets a little late, but you know what? It's Barry Shelley, so we'll allow him to be late. Nope, I always get up on the right side. I sleep on the right side. Okay, that's one person's opinion. Let me see here. Yeah, I do. I make excuses to go to Costco and Home Depot. Not as much Home Depot, but Costco too. Yeah, my people are there. Got the guy working at the bottom. Ours is a 2-level Costco, so they have an escalator system obviously going up and down. You could get on one of these Thursdays and interview people on the street and do a show on that. Yeah. Yes, we're going to try to do a show from the golf tournament. I don't know if they want us to do that or not, but we were thinking about that. Yeah, it would be fun to get out and do more interviews out public. We were going to try to do that shoulder check event. The building was just packed. There was no place we could have done it. So, all right, everybody. If there's any more questions we got before we run here, let me see here. Got to answer Deb's question. We cannot walk away from her. Do you eat the store? No. I don't know what it is. I've got to say, that's a good question. Nope, not doing it. Yeah, I don't know why. I feel like people are doing it kind of like taking advantage. I know it's not. They're sampling things so you can buy it. But I think some people go there just to eat. No, I'm not going there to eat. This is my Costco. Beautify the world. Don't just eat free food. Well, unless Tracy Marie's giving away free food, we'll do that. You can get from Tracy for free. Let me see here. Your show, you should do a show, Pepper. Wouldn't that be funny to interview the dog owners? Say, okay, listen, let's discuss why we have an issue here. Like, go through like a logical conversation. Like, okay, so ask me a question. So I'll say, answer me a question to the dog owners and say, is there a clause in your lease that says your dog is supposed to be on a leash? And they will say, well, yeah. And I said, is there a clause that your dog you have to clean up after your dog cleans up? Well, yes. Is there a town ordinance that says your dog needs to be on a leash and the leash cannot be longer than 10 feet? Yes. Okay, so why do you walk your dog around with no leash on them? Well, it's just me. Just this, a few times. And I don't know. It's like 10 of you do it. I'm right in my back deck. I'm having cocktails there. It doesn't work well. Okay. So that would be how the show would go. But then they do, I won't get into it. They do come up with excuses why they're different than, like, their situation is different than everybody else's, so they're allowed to do it. Right. One guy said, you don't have to curse at me. Oh, God. Okay. He can't. What was that response to? Have a great day, Barry Shelley, Danny Harrison. Yes, everybody. Okay, let's make sure we answer everybody's questions here before we roll. My wife, Kathy, says hi. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Nice to meet you. I've met you yet. It's through your husband. She's been affected by Larry Melnick, being around him, so hopefully she's fine. Who grabbed 4 chicken skewers? Oh, yeah. Seriously, and when they got to, like, they usually have this set up right at the end of the aisles. And so people don't care if they're blocking the aisle. Now, I have to go through every aisle when I go through Costco. So you can't block the aisle there because you're getting free food. Barry, stop. Illustration of what Tom says, you're great. Oh, Barry. Let me see here. Tom Levin is the CEO of the ASPs. Well, I could be. We have rules. And the rules are put in place for a reason. We spend a lot of money on rent. I don't want to live in a dog park, which behind my deck is turning into a dog park. Bad place to do that. If Tom is sitting outside having a cocktail, it's a bad place to have a dog park set up. So, things will be fine. There's other things in the world that are more important, but we'll straighten. We'll educate is what we'll do. Okay. Nice day, everybody. I like our group. We're getting along well. Everybody except Tracy's. Everybody's getting along so good. This is fantastic. Huh. 1, 3 more. That's the issue. That is the issue. You got to be careful with that. All right, everybody. Good show this week. Good to see everybody. Again, everybody remember like the shoulder check mentality. Everybody check on each other. Make sure we're all doing good. If some stranger on the street, nothing wrong with asking if they're okay. And if you're not feeling good, there's lots of us here for you. Contact, but again, there's that 988 hotline. You can call for. It started off, I think, to be a suicide hotline, but it's all suicide and mental health hotline. So everybody, take care of yourselves and each other, and let's make this a magical world.